life is the way you talk. If we were in person, you would be choked out right now.
If we were in person, you'd probably be drunk off your ass and get arrested and thrown in the tank, okay?
I would be arrested for assaulting you.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
That's why you talk the way you talk, because you live online.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
People say that, and then I see them in real life, and they're just these demure little submissive boys. So I don't know. Maybe. Listen, if you see me, you beat the shit out of me, okay? Knock yourself out.
You let men f you in the ass. You define submissive.
Do you think about that a lot, Gavin?
No, but you call me a cuck and say I'm submissive? It's insane.
What, you seem obsessed with talking about other men in their sex lives.
You brought it up. You called me a cuck, moron.
You started talking about my shit before. You literally started the conversation off calling me a cuck.
Yeah. You define culturally the fall of man. And the way you talk to me is proof of that.
Okay.
Anyway, you want to talk about immigration?
Sure.
We need to close the borders. Every country is concerned about immigration. If you don't have borders, you don't have a country. If you don't have an electoral process, you don't have a country. And we're doing real bad on both.
Why is it okay that Trump shut down the border bill that was in Congress?
Do you honestly support that border bill, or are you just kidding?
The Republicans supported it until Trump told them not to.
No, Trump told them not to. That doesn't mean they supported it.
They did.
That border bill wanted to process more illegals. I don't want that. You know how many people want to Eva Mendes? Millions. I don't want to facilitate that. Only one guy gets to Ryan Gosling. 3/4 of the world wants to come to America. The answer is no. I don't want to process them more. I also don't like that bill because it's got a bunch of bullshit earmarked for Ukraine and all kinds of other bullshit. It's just like their Inflation Reduction Act. It does the opposite of what it says it's going to do. That bill wasn't about closing the borders. It was about facilitating more illegals.
Stephen, why didn't they just do one single bill about immigration?
They did. They tried it. He's just lying. The Republicans just lie like they breathe. They did try to do one single bill. The Republicans still rejected it.
That's actually, ironically, a lie.
Okay.
So you're talking about lying as you lie. They have never proposed anything rational about immigration. It's a very simple concept. It's called closing the borders. You want to get rid of who's here? It's called attrition. You fine employers for hiring illegals, and they all go back with their tails between their legs, like they regularly do when the economy is bad. So the solution to America's plight is largely closed borders. And that, by the way, goes back to what I was saying about cultural. If you're culturally against illegal immigration, that's the first step to having strong borders.
Cool. The U.S. Senate failed Thursday to advance a border security bill as both parties seek to hone their message on immigration policy in the run-up into November's elections. The Senate bill failed to advance on a 43-50 procedural vote. The chamber already rejected the measure as part of a broader foreign aid package earlier this year. When they tried it initially as part of a broader package, it failed. When they tried it on its own, it failed. So you fucking lied, okay?
No, tried it on its own is not on its own. That is a lie. It was not a cohesive, structured bill that was going to
That's great.
stop
Now you're changing.
immigration.
Now you're changing the argument. The reality is, if
No,
they didn't like it, they could have debated.
You said they tried it with just immigration and it didn't go
They
through.
tried it with just the border bill. Yes.
No, it wasn't
not part
just
of
the border bill.
not part of Ukraine aid or anything.
Facilitating more border crossings when the guys in charge weren't even judges. They were just random fucking customs officials who were going to stamp your passport and say, you're in.
That's not how any of that works. That's literally not how any of that works. None of that works. Nothing you're saying is true. Literally nothing. Nothing you're saying is true.
No, they're not judges.
So at the end of the day, Stephen, why did Trump have much less border encounters than Biden?
Yeah, I wonder.
Well, I mean, for one, he had COVID. He had Title 42. He could literally shut down and reject people for asylum seeking using Title 42 because of...
No, it was way before COVID border crossings were down.
They weren't down that much from Obama. What do you mean? Look at the immigration stats.
12 million people crossed the border under Biden. That's as many as Ellis Island in its entirety. Its entire 85 years. We've had 12 million fucking illegals. And
they're not illegals also. They're people that are seeking asylum. That's not an illegal immigrant, but...
The quality of immigrants we're getting these days is alarmingly bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not destitute families looking for a job.
Well, if we would have allocated more money to the border for asylum judges to make rulings on that, we'd be able to do border faster.
They weren't judges. You know, they weren't judges.
Some of the funding was allowing for judges. Yes, some of the funding went towards judges.
I'm not allotting more money. Three-quarters.
Then don't allot more money. Then have the system be backed up and have all the people in here on waiting for their court date, and then sit here and bitch about it and do fucking nothing.
That's what I mean.
This is all Republicans do. All conservatives do is they cry all day about everything and they don't fix anything. They've got no solutions. They just suggest pie in the sky shit that they know will never. I was like, oh, deport 20 million people, and that's it. So that way they can just cry. You're permanent victims. You are a permanent victim, and you like it. You like being a victim because at the end of the day, you're the one that's dreaming about getting the ass. Okay, that's what you're obsessing with. You like to be a victim. You don't want to solve any problems. You want to sit there on your knees and you want to cry. You want to cry about it and not do anything about it. That's all you want to do. You are. You're crying. You're right now. The immigrants are. The immigrants are. You're crying like a little bitch.
No, that's not. You're mistaking anger for sadness. I'm not crying liberal tears. I'm having
you're crying conservative tears. They're a lot more
at you
delicious.
And other people who don't recognize the border problem.
Academic rights did. They try to pass a bill. You guys don't even think there's a border problem. That's why you're like,
garbage
you're like,
bill.
Let's keep. Then why not debate it? Then why not debate it in the Senate? Why not reform it? Why not do something different with it?
Because it was irrevocably bad. It was not a strong border bill.
It was a Republican bill. It was authored by Langford in the Senate. He's a Republican. The Republicans supported the exact same bill years earlier.
Things that are the opposite of what they purport to be. It's a scam, and people like you fall for it because you don't go outside.
Oh, yeah.
So you're a victim of propaganda because you just live on the internet.
Oh, okay.
So we can chat GPT you into a fictional person. You're an AI bot.
So, Gavin, what would the Republican Party do with the border? What particular things would the Republican Party do to solve the border crisis?